This is my favorite way to diffuse arguments, period. So next time your partner, spouse, fiance, roommate, mom, it doesn't matter, asks you to do something, let's say they say, please take out the garbage, do the dishes. You forget. They're gonna come to you and say, why didn't you do the dishes? To which you respond, number one, just say it right back to them. You're right, I did not do the dishes. And then, number two, imagine how that makes them feel. I imagine you're frustrated with me. Number three, I'm sorry. Number four, I'm gonna work hard on not doing that in the future, right? So let's rewind the tape. What you would have normally done, I mean, certainly what I would have done, my wife comes to me, she says, honey, I asked you to take out the garbage, I was gonna say take out the dishes, pick something up from the store. I wanna go into my story. So my story is, gosh, I got busy with clients, I'm a couples therapist and just a lot on my plate right now, or I got distracted with something with the kids or some other reason, excuse, defense why I didn't do it. Totally normal if you do that. Congratulations, you're a human like me. That is totally my MO. It just doesn't work, right? So I say to her, gosh, I was busy and didn't get around to it, and clients and blah, 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 blah. And she's just gonna kind of get irritated. One thing she might do is get kind of quiet. Another thing she might do is say something defensive or annoyed in response, like, well, you never remember to take out the garbage, or, I asked you so many times to put your clothes away. And then I'm gonna respond defensively. And as you can kind of see, I'm building up what, again, all of us do. We sort of create this, I call it a cycle. And it sucks. It usually results in disconnection. The moment, she says, why didn't you take out the garbage? I feel a little defensive, I pull away. I was busy. She feels frustrated, she pulls away. Well, I have asked you so many times. I feel more defensive and probably a little bit hurt at this point. Well, you just don't understand how much I have on my plate right now, right? And you're seeing, I'm sort of demonstrating with the hands what happens to your sense of closeness to this person. And again, it can be anyone. It can be your grandmother. It can be the person you're living with right now. It can be a colleague, right? Same, this applies to any person you are in relationship with. It could happen literally with a person at a grocery store. So the alternative, and I want to spell it out again, but I want to do it with another example, is to do something a little bit different. Right? So the moment that person comes to you and says, hey, I asked you to do this project and it was really important to me that happened and it didn't happen and we're behind time on it and I'm feeling frustrated and I don't know what to do, and we've talked about it, I've asked you, I feel like I've tried everything I can do. This is your moment, right? So you feel the person saying they're basically upset at you for a thing probably that did not occur. It could be something that did occur, right? Like you did something that made them upset. When you feel that, hear that happening, your internal reaction is going to be defensiveness. You're probably gonna feel something like hot or flushed cheeks or sweaty or kind of just this thing in your body, and you wanna move or get away or defend yourself. For me, when it happens, I tend to get a little bit hot in this area. I almost feel a little kind of buzzy feeling. Sometimes my stomach drops is another thing I'll feel. I'm going through all those somatics with you because I want you to identify what you do or what your body does the moment this happens to give you a clue or a cue. This is the time to employ that thing that Jeremy told me about, right? So again, you feel defensive, you feel your body having some kind of reactions, probably an unpleasant one. You feel like you want to go into a defensive story. You sense that the other person is upset. You could use any of those 4 clues to say, okay, this is the time to employ that other way of doing things. Here's that other way of doing things. And I'm going to do it with the example I just gave you with the project. Number one, mirror back or reflect back what you just heard from them. So you could say, gosh, you're so right. I didn't get that project to you. I know you wanted it by yesterday. You know, you've come to me, you've asked me. I can only imagine, step two, that you're feeling frustrated with me, you know, kind of let down. You're probably maybe confused or wondering why I didn't get around to doing it. If you need to pause before you go into step two, please do, because it can take a moment to decide, like, well, what is that person feeling? So I would just think to myself, okay, if I was in the same situation, I'd ask someone to do something they had not, what are some possible feelings I would feel? Pause. Disappointed, let down, confused why it's not happening, frustrated, you know, not sure kind of like what's the other thing I can do here to help make this happen. Step three, I get it. So step three really is the empathy step. Any version of I can imagine why from your shoes, again, not from my shoes, I'm kind of looking at it, if this person came to me, the project or thing did not get done, how are they feeling? What's in their mind, heart, body right now? They're probably frustrated, that makes sense. So that's step three. I get that you feel frustrated, I understand it, it makes sense to me. Those are probably my three favorite phrases. You could try on some of your own. It's anything that communicates, I understand. Step four, repair, I'm sorry, you know, I'm gonna work on this, or I'm sorry, you know, what could I do to make this right? That would be you walking yourself through those four steps. As always, great to be here with you. If you've got any questions, thoughts, comments, leave them in the comments below. Take care of yourself.